gaan live over naar het tweede uur van MusicMagic. Het is inmiddels 14 uur en 16 minuten en 27, 28 enzovoort seconden. En de tijd die ik hier voor mijn neus heb is de echte tijd, laat ik het zo zeggen. En ja, we gaan nu een singer-songwriter uit Canada gaan we hier in het programma ontvangen. En dat is Orit Shimoni. En Orit, welcome here in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and Orit, you have a special name. Martin told me that it means something.
Yes.
Yes? Could you explain that to the listeners?
Yeah, the name is a Hebrew name, modern Hebrew name, and Or means light.
Yes.
And eat is like the ending, like in Spanish when something is smaller, eat or ita. So Orit means little light.
Little light,
Yeah.
okay. And Shimoni, that is your real last name, family name.
Yeah.
Okay, Orit. But I read that Orit Shimoni, aka Little Birdie,
Yeah.
and you have to explain that.
When I first started putting albums out, which was, I think 2006 was the first album, I was living in Montreal at the time, and I wasn't so keen on using my real name for the music. Two reasons for this. One was that I had a band at the time, and I wanted them to feel included. So if it was just my name, they
Yes.
would not feel part of it. And also, because my name is an Israeli background, and the politics there are so tense,
Yes.
I didn't feel like I wanted people to think about this when they approached my music. So I wanted something that was nationally neutral. And so I asked other people, what should my name be? And everyone had horrible ideas.
Yes.
And then one day we were sitting in a bar, and the man that everyone in the bar knew I loved was performing a song. And the first words in the song were, won't you rattle my cage, little birdie? And the bartender said, I think you should be little birdie.
You should be Little Birdie.
And then it stuck. For the next 4 albums I was Little Birdie, and then came a period in my life where I thought I should no longer hide really who I am, and so it was time to go to my name again.
Okay, but just a question out of the musical thing that we are treating here, but you mentioned that you have a Hebrew background, but are you still having fears to show your real
I think
background?
more now in a way than before, actually.
But why? Because of the politics.
So intense and so tense and so dangerous, and yes, we could have a 4-hour discussion just on this.
Yes. It shouldn't be like that.
No, it definitely shouldn't be like that. And in the beginning it was more not fear, but just frustration, because I was meeting people. They want to know immediately where the name is from because they never heard it before. And then instead of asking me, what's it like?
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about it? They would tell me their opinion for the next half an hour.
Okay.
And this was really frustrating because the media has it so black and white that people assumed my politics instead of asking how I felt about it. So this was more in the beginning. Now things have gotten so out of hand. There is some fear, but not enough to stop me from doing what I'm doing. It's scary to be alive, I think, a little bit, but you must go and be alive. So
it is always scary to be alive, but life can be frustrating for anybody.
Sure.
But it shouldn't be just because of your background or so, or because of your name.
sure,
Okay.
nobody chooses where they're born.
No. And we're here to talk about music.
Music
and
is the best solution for this. For
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And you mentioned it that you're from Montreal in Canada, and but I also read that basically you're homeless.
Yeah, homeless is a negative sounding word, but it's true. For the last 8 years almost, I chose to tour. And if I wanted a home also, then I would have to find other work. I used to have other work, but I wanted to do the music with my full attention, and so I ended up just being this touring woman and not having my own place to live.
Okay, but do you have a family that?
My family is spread around also in
Okay.
different cities, but I have
No, I meant the husband and the children.
I know.
No.
Then I would have a
Okay.
home, of course.
But because it could be that they are traveling with you.
Yeah, no, I am a solo liver.
Okay.
Yeah. If
You're,
I had this, I think I would not be so interested in touring all the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
But you feel like being a citizen of the world.
It has turned into this, yeah. I really feel at home in so many different places and have so many people who treat me like I'm in their home family that it works out.
Okay. And I think I read that in 2006 you released your first album.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
so? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I also read that the music director at CBC Radio mentioned you one of the top 3 Canadian artists of 2006.
Yeah, that felt really nice.
Okay,
That's
yes.
for sure.
Okay, and after that you released a couple of more albums.
Yeah, since then I've released altogether 6 so far.
6 so far, okay. And as I understood, 2 of them were recorded in Canada, and then you moved to Germany.
To Berlin, yeah.
Okay.
I was living in Berlin.
And why was that?
I met a lot of musicians from Berlin who were passing through Canada, and they stayed with me in my apartment at the time. I had an ex-boyfriend who was a musician, and he went to Berlin for a little while, and so when I was ready to finish all the other jobs I had. I was a teacher beforehand, and I was doing academic work, and I thought, okay, this was time now to be just a full-time musician. I spent the first few months of this in Canada, and then knew I wanted to go to Europe just to check it out for music, and the friends I met said, come to Berlin. And so I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did you live in Berlin? 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you like the city?
It took me a very long time to decide how I felt about it.
Yes.
It was very difficult. Everyone I met was wonderful.
Yes.
Lots of music, lots of creativity. I recorded 2 albums there. I wrote many songs there. It was a difficult country for me to come to because I have 2 grandparents who were from there who escaped the war. So it was a bizarre place to be for me a little bit. And also this was just a tricky personal chapter in my life with the relationship I was in. So it was a really mixed emotion time. But now it's one of my favorite places, and I go back every tour and spend time with friends. Yeah.
But it didn't, it didn't mean any negative. It didn't give you any negative thoughts anymore about your grandparents who escaped from the war, and you being there in Germany.
What I felt was first of all, it was really important for me that someone from my generation should go and meet people from my generation on the other side, and be part of the reconciliation. Not keep the anger and the fear from it, but go and see that we are normal in a way.
Yes, sure.
And it was really interesting to meet young Germans who had the burden of the guilt on their shoulders instead of the burden of the victim. And so really interesting conversations that I had. This was a really important step to make. The fear was not fear, but just you could feel the ghosts, is how I describe it. But in my own experience,
the ghosts of the past,
the ghosts of the past were there, but my own time there was wonderful.
Okay, so
wonderful.
You can, or you might conclude that for you personally, for Orit Shimoni itself, it just worked out well.
Wonderfully, yeah. Okay. This is one of my favorite places to be. It's an incredible city.
Orit, I'm going to ask you, it's almost 16 minutes past 2, to sing a first song, and could you mention the title and maybe a short description of what it's about?
Absolutely. I think that since we were talking about Berlin and how it felt in the beginning, I'll play you one of the songs from the collection of songs I wrote that year, and a lot of them were dealing with this meeting the ghosts.
And the album was called Sadder Music?
Sadder Music,
Sadder Music,
Sadder Music, and this is also the name of the song I will play. So it is not a happy I love Berlin song, it is my encounter with the ghosts. Silver skies, that's no surprise. The bombs that fell will fall again. And you can only bend, suspend, but in the end you know. New youth marches in the streets with mobile phones and sandaled feet. You can't help grimace when you greet, 'cause you're not sure you're in. Magic juices come and go, the brew is weak and the serving slow, and you're never so high you don't feel low, but you wanted sadder music. You wanted sadder music. You wanted sadder music. You wanted sadder music. So here you go. Buildings stand with some command, fresh new paint on second hand, but an old vibe is stifling the land, and it doesn't seem to go. Ghosts are standing everywhere with glowing wounds and vacant stares, and you can't step or stand nowhere, 'cause you are in their way. Memory is open wide, announcing still the great divide that makes you wanna cry or hide. But you wanted sadder music. You wanted sadder music. You wanted sadder music. You wanted sadder music. So here you go. You wanted sadder music. You wanted sadder music. You wanted sadder music. So here you go. Used to think that I was strong. Turned out I was so wrong. But there is nothing left but song. But you wanted sadder music.
Ja, voor de luisteraars thuis, we hebben een gesprek met Orit Shimoni. Orit Shimoni die komt uit Montreal, Canada. Ze heeft verteld dat ze eigenlijk een groot deel van haar eerder leven, een regulier leven leidde. Op een gegeven moment besloot dat ze toch gewoon vrij wilde zijn. In muzikaal gezien, als een soort van troubadour, ging ze van stad naar stad. En ze heeft in Canada 2 verschillende albums opgenomen. En het eerste album dat verscheen in 2006 en dat werd heel goed ontvangen, onder andere door de muzikale director van de CBC Radio in 2006. En later is ze naar Berlijn gegaan en daar heeft ze een jaar gewoond en daar ook nog een album opgenomen. Dat heette Sadder Music en dit nummer wat u zo even hoorde was van dat album Sadder Music. Orit, I also read something which I think it's wonderful to read, but I am in love with words. Can you explain that? What is your love with the words?
First of all, I've always loved languages.
Yeah.
I grew up speaking Hebrew and English, and already this is wonderful to have 2 languages from the start. And knowing where the words come from and how they're built. If you go to Germany and the word for glove is hand shoe, this is fantastic, right?
Yes,
shoe for the hand, of course, it makes sense. And you get this if you learn the idioms from different languages, you learn about the people and the way they see the world. And this is such a beautiful way to get to know people. So already I have a fascination with language. As a writer, of course this is an obsession for me, because finding the right words for something, there's knowledge that you have before you find the words for it. This is totally fascinating to me. That you know something but you have not yet found words for it is philosophically fascinating. The process that you have to go through in order to find the words is actually the process of finding truth.
Okay.
Right? You have to try different words until you feel that you've hit truth. And this is totally amazing to me.
Okay.
And the power that words have to move people to tears or to laughter or to make peace or make war. This is amazing what power words have. So this is an obsession for sure.
Okay, and the language itself, the words that you use in your lyrics, does poetry mean a lot to you? Do your texts or do your lyrics, song texts, have to be poetic or not at all? Sometimes straight down to earth?
I think they're, to a large extent, very straight down to earth. I'm not looking to be fancy at all. This is not my point. I don't like poetry when it's trying to be fancy or when it's trying to be unclear. I think being clear is the mission.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to say as much as possible with as few words. Because this is the point, I think, of writing a poem or a song. You must make a million meanings with just a simple phrase.
Okay.
It's alchemy.
And contain it within a melody.
Yeah, lucky for me that the melody comes together. It just comes in a melody already.
Okay.
When I imagine the words, yeah.
So, as I understand it, when you write a song, it just comes, the both of the melody and the lyrics come together.
Usually, yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay, and what drives you to write a song? Is it a feeling that you have, or if maybe you're sitting on top of a mountain, looking to the far horizons, contemplate about life and the universe and so forth? Or just laugh or whatever?
These are all good questions. The way I describe it is that I am somebody who is contemplating a lot by nature. So I'm always thinking words. There's thoughts and thoughts and thoughts in my head. And every so often, one phrase from all my thoughts comes louder.
Yes.
And when this happens, I go, oh, this is a line, actually. And when that happens, I noticed, usually I'm thinking about people, situations, fears, anxieties, loves, tragedies, joys, all of it, all of it. Love is a big theme, of course, also. And when I feel, oh, this is a line, it's because, oh, this is so human. Of all my experiences, when something pops into my head as, this is what being a human being is all about, that's when I go to write it as a song. Because it also means everyone else will know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, there's no point.
I understand that. Yeah. I can relate to that because, well, you can write a song about a fat lady across the street, or you know, and it means nothing. But
you can if you do it in a way that makes everybody know exactly what you're thinking and feeling, that they also have felt it too. You know what I mean? Everything is a. You can write a song about absolutely anything, but it's what you do with it and why you're writing it and what is the point of it that matters.
Okay, so it has to have a point.
Yeah, and this is where I was talking about finding the truth by looking for the words. I don't know if I'm hearing you right when you're presenting the show, but that you're saying something like music is emotion, is that right?
Yes, that's exactly it.
And this is 100% what it's about for me. That you have to find what is the emotion, and when you can find the honesty of emotion, then you have a song, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to play a second song. It's almost 2:30 now, and time is running quick now. And could you at least tell us the title and maybe a short description of what the song is about?
This song is from the album Bare Bones, also Little Birdie, but the album is Bare Bones. And this is a song thinking about somebody who's probably not thinking about you anymore. And it's called If You Hope I'm Doing Fine. I've lost track of you completely. You've slipped right off the grid. I got no one's words to go by. Where you gone, what you did. But I still feel your presence neath this great big open sky. And I fill with dread and worry. This grief won't pass us by. Sometimes I see your face in dreams. I swear it softens as the nights go by. I wish I held the right key to solve the riddle. While I love you, wonder how you wake up and what thoughts are on your mind. I wonder if you think of me, and if you hope I'm doing fine. Well, the days seem endless, endless. So many people come and go, and everything is spinning, and I pretend to know what I'm doing. I've got enough time for the thoughts to flow through me. You still appear to be the biggest part of me. Sometimes I see your face in dreams. I swear it softens as the nights go by. I wish I held the right key to solve the riddle. While I love you, wonder how you wake up and what thoughts are on your mind. I wonder if you think of me, and if you hope I'm doing fine. keep it moving. I give everything a chance. I keep my eyes wide open and I'm not afraid for my soul to dance. But I hold back when it beckons me to follow. 'Cause as broken as we were, without you it seems so hollow. Sometimes I see your face in dreams. I swear it softens as the nights go by. I wish I held the right key to solve the riddle while I love you. Wonder how you wake up and what thoughts are on your mind. I wonder if you think of me and if you hope I'm doing fine. Sometimes I see your face in dreams. I swear it softens as the years go by. I wish I held the right key to solve the riddle while I love you. Wonder how you wake up and what thoughts are on your mind. I wonder if you think of me and if you hope I'm doing fine. I wonder if you think of me and if you hope I'm doing fine.
Ja, voor de luisteraars thuis een heel mooi liedje van Orit Shimoni, die weer te gast is bij Almere On Air Radio hier bij Omroep Almere. Orit, is it about Last Love?
Sure.
Yes,
of course.
it's of course. And
although somebody once responded to it about it being for them, about their wife that passed away and missing that person after they were already dead. So this was a nice interpretation also.
Okay.
It's not for me to say what the song is about.
Yes, but okay, but surely a song like this can people can relate to it, you know,
Yeah.
because everybody has lost loves in their life.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really too bad, is it? Or maybe not.
Too bad for sure.
Yeah?
But it's also because it's human. This is my.
Did you personally get over the love or not?
Who knows if you ever really get over lost loves, but I keep trying anyway. So
Yes.
I remain an optimist. But yeah, we all have sorrow, and that's also part of the beauty of being human. It's just human.
Yes. Okay. And it's a subject which yields a lot of emotion.
Yes, that's for sure.
Okay. And do you have any heroes musically seen? You know, people like I don't know, singer-songwriters from the past that you. Could you mention a few?
I think when I was much younger, I was really inspired by Bob Dylan because he was writing protest music, and this really spoke to me as someone who grew up with war.
Okay.
These songs were not songs of the past for me; they were very, very relevant to my life. So I was really quite into Bob Dylan. Later, I was really into Leonard Cohen for his such amazing poetry in his writing. It's very, very inspiring. That you do not waste words when you write songs. You must really say a lot. Townes Van Zandt came into my life a little bit later.
An American?
Heroic in his obsession with living on the road. This was very inspiring to me.
Okay.
Of course there's more, but these were the three. Paul Simon's writing I really like as well.
Yeah.
Ones who are storytellers, ones who are honest, ones who don't write fluffy music. Those are the ones I like.
But always people, it's always centered around acoustic guitars, if I understand it.
That's by chance, I think.
Oh, by chance. Okay.
It's more the lyrics that matter to me.
Okay.
The type of music, I love jazz also, I love blues, I love all of it, but it happens to be that the ones who put much more emphasis on the text, on the words, are usually the folky ones.
Okay.
This is
Yeah,
a chance thing.
yes, I can agree with you, but you know, my question was a little bit practical of nature, because you know it's easier to carry an acoustic guitar. A grand piano is difficult to carry with you. So.
And of course, also it would be a total joy for me to tour full time with a band. I have bands in different cities. This is also very lucky when you travel solo. You get to meet musicians and play with whoever you want. So that's nice. So I have bands in different cities. All my albums.
That's special, is it?
Wonderful, because it also changes the style. When people say, "What kind of music do you play?" It totally depends who the band is.
Who the band is? Okay, who the members are?
It can be country. It can be folk. But the albums also have different musicians, and this is wonderful. And then when I'm touring to make my living, most of the shows must be solo, just because of the finances and the practicality of traveling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in fact you are self-sustaining in the sense that wherever you go, you try to perform. You know.
I only go if there's shows on the other side, because I cannot just go on vacation. This is not an option on my musicians' wages.
And right now you're touring together with Martin van der Vlucht, or is it just coincidence that you are here with him now?
No, he helped organize a few shows, so this is also what ends up happening in my life. Is first few times I did it completely alone, but then I meet so many wonderful musicians that the next time I tell them, hey, I'm coming in this month, each one can find one or two shows that we can do together, and then it makes it so much easier for me to find shows, but also so much nicer for me that I'm also interacting with the local musicians and hearing their music. Otherwise, for me, it would be so boring only hearing myself all the time.
Yes. Okay. Well, in the Netherlands, it's mostly that most of the musicians are you know are inspired by American music, and so it's and of course people like Leonard Cohen from Canada, and but the original, I think there is not really something which can be called an original Dutch music scene, maybe, because
I'm always very curious about this, because when I'm touring in Europe, everyone sings in English. All the local, the Dutch people, the German people, the Belgian people, are all. And I understand, of course, if you want to be famous not only in your own country, you must do it in English.
You must do it in English,
But it's really interesting to see how they go writing songs in a language that's not their mother tongue, and they do it so well, actually. And it feels like they do it so well because they have listened to so much music with English words that they understand the language of songwriting. It's really fascinating to see it.
Okay.
But I would love to hear local Dutch songs, and there I've heard more in Belgium, where I hear Flemish songs.
Flemish songs, yes.
I know that the text is good. I can tell by the reaction.
Oh yeah,
the texts are good, but I don't understand.
There are some, no, not some. There are really good Dutch singer-songwriters who create songs in their native Dutch language. So
they have more to do with the reality of life here, and more politics, I think, come in this kind of music when it's in your own language. So it would be nice to learn enough Dutch to understand the words.
Well, Dutch is I think it's a little bit of a difficult language to write poetic lyrics, you know, for songs.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say this.
That's really true. So, but enough about that. We're here talking about the music of Orit Shimoni, and I'm going to ask you to play another song.
Okay.
And could you tell us at least the title and maybe a short description what the song is about?
Sure. I have to decide what I'm going to sing quickly. I'm going to sing a sarcastic song. This is off of an album that I recorded in Toronto with a fantastic blues band. So really high-level musicians that I was lucky enough to meet. They liked me, I liked them, and we said let's capture what we do together.
And what was the title of the album?
The album is called Bitter is the New Sweet.
Okay.
Because I was trying to write songs that were less sad, but also not happy and so bitter was the best thing I could come up with, was that they were sarcastic songs, and with this band with the trumpet and the piano, it was just a perfect sound for these slightly more bitter songs. So this is, this song is called Honey and Milk. I don't know if you have the saying in Dutch, but
yes,
like the land
something
of milk
similar to that, yes.
Yeah, it means like the best thing possible, the land of milk and honey.
Yes.
And so this song is saying there was never such a thing as the land of honey and milk. This is bullshit.
Okay.
And it's a song about not believing in romance anymore, which was luckily only a temporary mood. Don't promise me nothing. I don't want hope. One more disaster. I just couldn't cope. I know you're a romantic. I used to be too. Don't try to cheer me. I'm drained and I'm through. 'Cause there was never a land of honey and milk, fields that glistened with grass like silk. There was never a time of a love so pure that the heart and the mind and the feet were sure. The prophecy failed, or I was wrong all along. Well, that ship has sailed, and the wind is strong. The believers deserted, and the dreamers have drowned. Don't try to cheer me, I'm used to this frown. 'Cause there was never a land of honey and milk, fields that glistened with grass like silk. There was never a time of a love so pure that the heart and the mind and the feet were sure. So don't promise me nothing. I don't give a damn. We all know you're working on a whole nother plan. There was never no secret, no treasure, no map. We all know all this talking is a bunch of crap. 'Cause there was never a land of honey and milk, fields that glistened with grass like silk. There was never a time of a love so pure that the heart and the mind and the feet were sure. No, there was never a land of honey and milk, fields that glistened with grass like silk. There was never a time of a love so pure that the heart and the mind, the feet were sure. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum. 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 Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum.
Ja, voor de luisteraars thuis het wederom een heel mooi liedje van Orit Shimoni. En al bent u geïnteresseerd in wie Orit Shimoni is, kunt u haar vinden op www.oritshimoni.com. Ik ga het even spellen, want dat is misschien voor degene die ja, willen weten hoe het precies spelt, wel nodig. www en dan .orit en dat is haar echte naam, Orit. En dan haar familienaam, dat is S-H-I-M-O-N-I, Orit Shimoni. S-H-I-M-O-I, moet ik zeggen, .com. Dus www.oritshimoni.com. I just explained to the listeners where they can find you on the internet.
Thank you.
And
they're welcome to get in touch. There's a contact form, they're welcome to send messages. Facebook is a good way to communicate.
Okay, you're also on Facebook?
Yes, I use it a lot because I'm not living
and if people want to order your music, how does it work?
The best way to do it is from my website,
yes.
because then it goes directly to me.
Okay.
You can also find it on iTunes, you can find it on all these digital sites. If you want to support me as an artist, the best way is to get it from my website.
From your website.
There's a tab on, you can find it, yeah. And if you can't find it, you can send me a message.
That's where they can get a real physical CD.
Also to download it.
Also to download it,
yeah.
okay. And Spotify, Amazon.com, iTunes.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Okay. And well, I'm curious because I read it, and you've been telling us now that you've been touring solo a lot, and as you mentioned, performing with local musicians. But I also read somewhere that you were traveling from town to town, you know, living on a bus and on a couch. But does the Orit Shimoni in 2015, don't you need any steadiness in your life, you know, like?
From time to time I feel that I wish I had it.
Yes.
But most of the time I don't miss it at all.
You don't miss it at all.
I think that if I had a home, I would miss it.
Yes.
But because I don't have it anyway, I don't know what to miss.
Or you could find somebody who could travel with you.
Yeah, so far I cannot imagine who this person would be, because I'm so used to now doing this on my own, and there is such a freedom in a way where I don't have to worry what someone else, when they need to eat, when they need to pee, when they need to sleep. I like to travel with people for short amounts of time, but I got really used to, also because I'm sleeping in people's homes.
Yes.
The only time I have quiet time to think is when I'm on the bus or on the train, and so to imagine having a companion all the time, I think would drive me crazy. Maybe I just haven't met the right one yet, but there's still time. We'll see what happens.
Let's keep it on that, you know, like sometimes somebody who is your companion in life could be just around the corner without you knowing.
I love the mystery of not knowing what's around the corner.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Well,
We'll talk again in a year and see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Okay,
yeah.
We will do that. And well, I'm going to ask you, because it's 1450 minutes. It's 10 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to ask you to sing another more song for us, and we hear about the music, and it's really wonderful music that you make.
Very much.
I love the lyrics. Really.
Thank you. This means the most. Yeah, for sure.
It's poetic, but it's also almost philosophically.
Thank you.
You know, it's a
this
mixture
is the product of a lot of thinking.
So
it's good if you see it. Yeah.
Okay, tell us the title of the song, if you wish, and maybe what it's about.
The song is also from the album that's called Bare Bones. It's called Bare Bones because it's an album that only has me and guitar, which is how I mostly perform. I will send you the tracks, you can have them later. The song is a song that I tried to write really for real. I thought, how does one write a happy song? And I could not find the answer. But I was asking myself this question philosophically. Why am I happier now than I was before? this is a real mystery to me because everything that I was always sad about is still there. But I'm happier than I used to be. Maybe it's because I'm making music and meeting with people, but it's also because I realize that I will never find the answer, and I'm learning to live with this better.
Okay.
And so I wrote this song called Haven't Got a Clue. I just don't know. And it goes like this.
My heart is spoken for, body is negotiable. My soul is not my own, my mind is mine but sociable. History does not repeat, it's never even stopped. We just keep picking up where someone else has dropped, and yet, if this is all we get, then what are we to do but treat each other kindly, though we haven't got a clue. I'm full of memories, they're spilling over the brim, and they make loss of time seem so awful grim. But here I am right now, making one anew, and it just so happens that I'm here right now with you. Thus, we must not fuss, 'cause what are we to do but move each other gently, though we haven't got a clue. Answers are just questions that have chosen a direction. Gestures are just needs we have reached for with our golden gloves. It's not that I'm accusing you, 'cause clearly I'm guilty too. But if we've got this chance, I'd rather go for romance. Words are spoken all the time, they're all we've really got. Though there are galaxies between what we said and what we thought, and though you say nice things to me, they're only borrowed lines from every other person in every other time. And so, if this is all we know, then what are we to do but speak with candid honesty, though we haven't got a clue. We haven't got a clue.
Ja, luisteraars thuis, het is tweede uur hier bij MusicMagic. We hebben een gesprek met Orit Shimoni uit Canada. En het is dus Canadese singer-songwriter. Je kunt haar vinden op www.oritshimoni.com. And the other website, www.littlebirdie.ca. Is that still active?
It still works. You just have to make sure that you spell birdie with an EA at the end and not with a Y.
Okay.
This is an Australian band with a Y.
Okay. Little Birdie with IE aan het einde. En het is geen komma, punt CA. That stands for Canada, is it? Okay, okay. I'm going to wish you a lot of success.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, and I'm going to ask you to sing one last song for us before we go to part, okay?
Sure.
And tell us the title and...
Yeah, I'm going to play you a song that's upcoming on the next album.
Yeah.
And it's called, I have to remember what it's called because it's so new, Spend a Little Time With Me.
Okay.
I know that I played a tough one, but you've long seen through that, I believe. You've watched me go elsewhere to triumph, and then crawl home to grieve. And I know you've tried hard to warn me, but you can never really break free. So spend a little time, spend a little time, won't you? Spend a little time with me. It's been a long road to nowhere. Days sleeping and feeling lost. It's getting hard not to wonder how precious is the cost. I know you've tried hard to please me. It's easy when I'm free. Just spend a little time, spend a little time, won't you? Spend a little time with me. I know you hate to see me running, but it's not from you. It's just when I surrender, I'm more likely to be feeling blue. heart to warn me that you can never really break free. So spend a little time, spend a little time, won't you? Spend a little time with me. Spend a little time with me. Spend a little time with me.
Ja, dames en heren, thuis was het laatste liedje van Orit Shimoni. En Orit, once again, thank you very much for being here. I wish you a lot of success, and maybe 1 year from now we're talking to each other one more, and I want to know who stood around the corner.
Maybe
Okay.
nobody. We'll
Maybe
see.
nobody. Okay.